Training camp, battle time, quarterbacks are up. All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus. It seems like it's been forever. The tag team is back, and we're ready to talk some Vikings. Let's go.
We are. Demolition is back. Greatest tag team in the history of the WF. We are back. Ready to roll here. Unless, it's almost July, so it's training camp is going to be on our minds. We got to start looking at these rosters, the depth chart in every single position, breaking this thing down, and telling you what to look for as camp approaches.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to look at who's there, who's going to be there afterwards. We're making some predictions and just expectations. And we're starting with the quarterback position. Before we get into that, remember, subscribe to the channel, like the videos. Let's get to 8,000 subs during training camp. It's going to happen because they're going to be hot and heavy.
I hope so. I really hope so. And let's start now. We're going to go with everybody on the depth chart right now. Then we're going to talk about what to expect and what maybe battles there may be. Obviously, Kirk Cousins is topping this thing off. Hopefully, his sunburned skin is healed by training camp. Looks like he got really, really lobstery over the weekend. Then behind him, Sean Mannion, Kellen Mond, and rounding out the depth chart, Nate Stanley, still a Viking.
Well, let's go from the bottom up. Bottom feeders. Let's go. Nate Stanley, do we need to spend more than 6 seconds on him?
The only question I have with Nate Stanley is, will we see him even take a snap in the first preseason game? I don't think so.
No, the only reason I would say maybe is because Sean Mannion's on this team, and did they even need to put him out there? So, Nate Stanley is not going to make this team. At this point, I don't think he's going to make the practice squad. I know you can have like 1,000 people in the practice squad still. I don't think he's even going to be there. Patrick Harms, sorry about that. I'm sorry about breaking this news, but Nate Stanley, done. Let's move on to next. Who's next?
And next is the battle here. This is what's going to be the battle to watch in camp. Kellen Mond, the second-year player, versus the crusty old veteran. You always say he looks like he should be down at the local VFW having a beer. Sean Mannion. This is the battle to watch in camp. Who's going to emerge as Kirk Cousins' backup?
Yeah, and I can't wait. I mean, I got a prediction, no doubt about it. Sean Mannion, they pretty much brought him back. He's Kirk Cousins' buddy. He's his coach. He's the whatever he needs, support. And I've always said he's probably at the VFW, but the more I think about it, he's probably just a dork like Kirk Cousins. I hate to admit it, but maybe that's why they get along so well.
Maybe. And here's the thing that I think where Sean Mannion should end up is on the practice squad. He can still help Kirk Cousins out. Maybe you can have him dialed in on a phone during games, whatever, if he sees something, if that's really what he's there for. But I'd rather see Kellen Mond win this job, be the backup, give us a backup, a young backup with some upside, with some potential, something we haven't had for years here in Minnesota, instead of a crusty vet who if he comes in the game, you're not going to win the game. The game's going to pretty much be lost. And that may be the case with Kellen Mond, but at least there's some hope there with Kellen Mond. And hopefully he progresses and actually just beats Manning outright in camp here.
Perfect case scenario. You already said it. Manning's on the practice squad, can do his thing and practice whatever. Mond's still only 23 years old, did not get a fair shake. We know that Mike Zimmer damn near hated this guy, never had a chance. But if Kellen Mond, he needs to be the backup. There's no way around it. He has to be the backup. If he's not the backup this year, just cut him. I don't care. Yeah. Just move on from the guy. If he cannot be a backup, be done with him. But I'd love to see him. Last year in preseason, didn't look horrible. He looked like a third-round rookie.
Yeah, and his reviews coming out of the OTAs and mini camps where everything was positive. He's learning, he's putting the extra work. So Kevin O'Connell already seems to take a liking to this guy, taking a shine to him. So maybe, just maybe, he will be that backup quarterback that we all want.
I hope so. I cannot wait to see him out there with the twos in preseason. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully maybe even a tiny bit of ones while Kirk is resting that tuchus. Speaking of Kirk, let's go to the big ticket prize.
Kirk Cousins, he's here. There was questions in the offseason if he will be back, if we were going to trade him, but we decided to pay him, keep him here. Now he's working with his boy, Kevin O'Connell, a guy who loves him, who's going to support him, who's going to talk good about him in meetings, not talk bad about him in front of everybody else.
He's a grown adult.
He's got tons of weapons, brand new offense. They're going to be throwing the ball a ton. This should be Kirk Cousins' best statistical year yet in the NFL.
Absolutely. Career high 35 touchdowns back in 2020 with the Vikes. I completely anticipate him going over that. You already said it. This will be, barring any injury, he will have his best year as a pro. Does that equal wins? We do not know, but he will have his best year. The other thing I'm preparing myself for, he only had 7 interceptions last year, 6 the year before, or 2 years before that. I do expect the interceptions to go up more, but I expect them to be much more aggressive.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you throw the ball more, interceptions should go up. Those two should correlate. And to me, what you said worries me the most. You said barring injury, and we have no reason to think Kirk Cousins will get injured. He hasn't been injured yet, at least for an extended period of time. So, I mean, part of me almost feels you get that voice again, that that saying negative things when you're a Vikings fan in your ear. But I hope to God he stays healthy all year long, because I want to see what he can do in this offense with these weapons, with Justin Jefferson 3 years in. Man, it should be good. And a healthy Adam Thielen finally.
Yeah, he has to stay healthy. I mean, as much as I want to see Mond out there, see what he's got, Kirk Cousins goes down. Vikings are done. Done. But Kirk Cousins is set up perfectly. This is his moment. All the Kirk haters this year are going to turn the tide. They're going to love him more than anything. Let's go. So, final. How's it going to shake out?
I think they're going to keep two. They're going to keep Kirk Cousins, Kellen Mond, and Sean Mannion will sign to the practice squad, because what else is he going to do?
What else will he do? That's exactly how I see it. Let us know in the comments how you see it. Are you excited for Mond? Do you want to see Sean Mannion as our starting quarterback? Whatever's on your mind.
All right. And remember this, Snoop Dogg employs a full-time blunt roller who makes between $40,000 and $50,000 a year. Jesus.